25-year-old Kawasaki W650. The effects of time on electrical components. In case you get a stall and you don't know why your bike stalls all of a sudden, one of the problems can be a short of some sort. But in other cases, like in my case, it was the lock. The lock is very old. And the reason why the bike stalled is simply because over time, vibration and dust inside, both of them, played a joke on me. I almost fell on the intersection. As I was turning, the bike suddenly stalled and I couldn't understand why. I cannot even start it again. The white wire is the battery power, basically the main power, and it got disconnected. See, I think there was some kind of resistance there. It looks like the solder was, in a bad shape, and maybe it wasn't soldered properly in the beginning. But in any case, look at all that rust. See that rust? All that dust and rust shorts all over the place in other areas, right? So this is just to show you that when your bike is old, expect the unexpected. Expect things to break just because they're old. That's another reminder. Avoid buying, if you're buying a bike, you don't know, you're not very electrically and mechanically prepared to deal with it, do not buy older bikes as your first or second bike. This is my fifth bike, so it's okay. But just for the new riders there, avoid the temptation of getting a beautiful bike that's more than 15 years old. You'll get into this, right? So how did I find the problem? Well, you take the multimeter and you set this to continuity. So you see this, the ohm sign here, this ohms means resistance. So you set it to a continuity setting, right? Insert the key in there. Turn it on to the on position, right? And in your service manual, you'll see a schematic that will tell you what each connection does, right? So in my case, the white wire is the battery power or the main power, and the brown wire is the load. Load meaning the whole bike gets powered through the brown wire. So when you turn on the key, when you turn the key to on position, the current goes from the white to the brown, and also actually it goes through the gray one too. Gray one is the immobilizer wire that goes to the igniter, and it has 100 ohm resistor. Actually, see that resistor over there? That's the immobilizer resistor. So if the igniter does not feel 100 ohm resistance in that wire, the gray one here, it will not, you will actually blow a fuse. So this is done for in case a thief tries to just short those two wires, the brown one and the white one. If they start it, basically, if they want to short circuit and just steal the bike, bypassing everything else, they can do it. In this bike, there is a basic rudimentary immobilizer protection there. So keep that in mind. So what you do is you literally turn it to on. It doesn't matter, red or black. And you basically connect those two, right? You connect them to the wires, to the white one, and then the second one you connect to the brown one. With the key in the on position, there should be no resistance, right? The current should go right through. So you would basically you would hear a sound, just like this sound. Like you will hear that kind of sound. right? And you will see here, you'll see something closer to 0, like almost 0, maybe 1 ohm is like, or less than 1 ohm. That means there is no resistance and the current can go through. So in case you have like a breakage in the wire, you will have a very high resistance, or you have no sound, it's like 1. It will just show 1. Means no current can pass through. So using this technique, this continuity test, you can find breakages in the wire, right? So you just go wire, one by one, right? And test. If you have continuity, means the current is passing through, and then all of a sudden you have a breakage, you just found a breakage somewhere, right? So yeah, very important test, very simple test. Everyone should know it. Easy to find problems. So this is how I found the problem, why my bike stalled, is just that, right? And problem number 2, like I said, there's a lot of rust and dust in there. So when you fix something like that, make sure you put contact cleaner, like you clean it all out, reconnect whatever you need to, solder it back, and hopefully it will not give you trouble. Now I've soldered back the wire, the white wire, and I just want to show you that it's all good, looking good. So I unscrewed this cap here, and I just want to show you what's underneath. So that's the lock. See that thing? Not the T-shaped thing, and that's the T-shaped here. So the actual, when you turn the key, the lock is underneath there. And it just rotates this switch here. And it has internal positions basically underneath there. And yeah, so all you do is you just put it back. You don't need to open this at all. I'm just showing you what's inside. Right, so I tested the continuity and it's actually pretty good. I think I fixed the lock, and there is no need to replace the lock. It was just like one wire got undone, and I put it back, and it seems to be working fine with perfect continuity. Okay, now what would happen if you need to replace the lock? In this case, there is like a deadbolt in there. I don't know how it's called, but it's like a bolt that you cannot remove. So I searched online. It looks like you just need to drill it out. Put a drill bit and just drill out just a little bit from the top there, so that this little cap is quite thin, and you can just kind of lift this up, right? And this will allow you to see, this is the connection here. So it's this part and this part are disconnected here. So literally it will allow you to remove this whole lock out from this big part, right? So yeah, you would need to drill it out if you need to replace it. So luckily in my case, I can get away with just a quick repair and don't need to replace anything. But for people who have more severe problems, yeah, you'd need to drill this out. Not a huge deal, 3 minutes work, not the end of the world, but still, this is what you need to do. Thanks, and like the video, ask me questions if you have any, subscribe if you haven't subscribed.